reminders. Commissions tab is now live as of February 1st. So that means that if you are working on a deal currently, you can go in and utilize the offer and commissions tab. Green sheets will expire. If you don't know what I'm talking about in terms of green sheets, then just pretend like I didn't say anything. But
I know about green sheets. Yep, I'm done with them. I had one closed last Friday. So
okay, awesome. So yes, so they will end on February the 28th, and we will no longer accept them March 1st. So just wanted to be clear about that. So a couple of things in terms of what we're going to do. The goal is just open to all agents, TMs or TCs, pretty much Oahu and neighboring islands refer to transaction coordinators as transaction managers, but it's the same person or same entity. So training is primarily geared toward the functionality. So we're going to specifically talk about how the offer and commissions tab functions. And then best practice, obviously would be Chrome, would be the best operational platform. If you continue to have issues, you may want to try an incognito window, in which I can help you with that if need be. And then the third party best app to make sure that you have connected, if you don't have it, is the DocuSign. And then we're going to talk about a workflow grid and best practice. So Bill, let me ask you this. Have you entered your 2021 goal in Command in terms of your production goal?
No.
Bill?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. So have you entered your 2021 goal?
I have not. That's something I haven't do yet.
Okay, so that will be something, and the reason why we want to stress that in the training is because now with us being able to submit how to get paid or getting paid within Command, you'll be able to track all of your numbers. So you'll be able to run reports at any point in time that you want to get a snapshot of where you are and what you need to achieve your goal. So that's the reason why I asked. And so the one change that has happened this month is formerly it used to be two tabs, meaning there was an offer tab and a commission tab. Now they are combined. And so everything begins with the contact, which we'll get started. The workflow simply is this. Everything in green are the things that relate to getting paid, green for money, and then blue are added value that you are going to want to consider to maximize your database. So the green buttons would be create the contact. From the contact, you create the opportunity. From the opportunity, you go to offer. From offer, you go into adding all of your documents, opportunities for compliance, and then basically submitting the form to get paid. So this is all of the green items, if you will, are going to be the must-dos in order to get paid. Comments or questions about that or anything in blue?
No, good.
Okay. So one other thing I do want to highlight within the blue, the last blue, it says listing only, download and offer comparison. We are going to chat about that. It's a cool feature because in times past, many agents, and you may have experienced this, when you are on the listing side or representing the leasing side, and it could potentially be for buyers. I don't want to say that, but specifically for the listing side, you have multiple offers that come in. And so in times past, agents had to create a document separately. Now with a click of a button in Command, you can just simply hit compare offers and you can compare multiple offers. And then you can email it directly from Command, or you can download it and send it in another way. So that's Excellent. A really cool tip to have.
I've had that circumstance and had to create my own documents, so I appreciate that new feature.
Exactly. So then if you are working with a TM or TC or will in the future, just keep in mind, Bill, that they will need to have access to your Command in order to submit payment on your behalf. And then we're currently beta testing with groups as it relates to using the commissions tab. There's a couple of things that I'm going to point out now, and then also again, once we get into Command. In order to add legal fees, i.e. in the E&O field, You will need to add them in the note section. There was a ticket that was created because originally we could enter the E&O or the legal fees within the E&O field, and I'll show you what that means. It doesn't probably make any sense now, but you'll see it once we get into it. We used to be able to have a basically a button that we would able to, or a field to put in the legal fees. We've had some glitches with that, and so we've just been telling agents that if that field or area is grayed out, meaning that you can't put anything in there, the best practice is to add it in the notes. And again, I'll cover this once we actually get into command. And the other thing in terms of tips is the note section is where you would enter your GET and also your PC if you have a PC or productivity coach. And then we'll talk about referrals as well. So then a couple other things, and then we're going to get right into it. These are just basic compliance reminders. And so making sure that you update your opportunities once you create an opportunity for a contact, that you continue to keep that opportunity updated, meaning what's going on with that opportunity. And then all documents are uploaded in a timely manner. And then also your timelines. Again, if you're hiring a TC or a TM, they will do this for you. If you're not and you're doing this yourself, this is something that you'll need to update. The key to this is when you are in a deal with a client, and if you don't have your documents updated and or timelines, what happens is if you run across issues or concerns that you need to bring to your productivity coach and or your broker, if your documents are not up to date, it's a delay in them being able to help you. So that's why we want to highlight that. And then this is not for getting paid. This is for compliance. So all files must be submitted to the compliance officer 5 days prior to close. So this is just a recap of all of the documents for the compliance officer, not Shelby or MCA. So I just wanted to be very clear about that because some people were confused on that. And then day of close, making sure that you submit all of your closing documents, whether that's FRIPTA, HARTA, et cetera. And then after closing, the key thing you want to do is after you close, you want to make sure that you update and or move that opportunity to a closed status within command. And so we'll revisit that as well. Questions, Bill?
No, I'm good.
Okay, so one other slide, how the commissions tab works within command. So if you have any questions about the commission tab itself or wanting to know how to do something, reach out to me and or Robert. You can start the process by emailing Tech Concierge 1002. If you have specific questions about what the information that goes into the commissions tab, then reach out to your broker. And then compliance questions only, or compliance questions either go to the compliance coordinator and or Michelle Del Rosario or your productivity coach. And then getting paid, if you have questions about getting your physical check, then reach out to Shelby. Okay. So that's it for that part. And we're going to jump into, let me stop share and reshare with my screen. All right, can you see my screen again?
Yes.
All right, so let me get into command. All right, okay, so let me move this header up. All right, so everything, like the slide said, begins with a contact. And so you can go into, we might have to be incognito. So let's see what happens here. Let me go out and go into, can you see my black incognito screen?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure. right, so let's try this again. And I'll give this a few minutes. If it doesn't work, then I'm going to go in. There's more than one way to get this training across. So I've got another idea if this does not want to cooperate today. Not sure if let's try this. Let me stop share for just a minute. Let's see, that will do it. So let me go back here. Hey, Bruce.
Good morning.
All right, Bill and Bruce, can you now see my screen? I was having some issues with my internet, so that's why we were.
Yep.
So hopefully.
See it.
Okay. So oh geez. One more thing. Let's do this. Stop share. And one more time, and then if not, we're going to do a second option. So go out of here, go back into, and can you see my incognito screen?
Yes.
The black one? Okay. Let's try this, and then if it doesn't work, we're just going to play. What I did is I recorded 2 separate recordings for buyer and listing side. So if this doesn't work, we'll just look at those videos and then I'll answer any questions you have. All right. Okay. Can we be ready to go? Yes, awesome. Okay. So as soon as it downloads, there we go. So for the buyer side, so for the best practice, you can do one of 2 things. In order to create a contact, the best practice is to actually go into, or excuse me, to create an opportunity is to go into your applets, your contact applets, and create the opportunity from there. That's the best practice. You can also go down to opportunities, which is the handshake, and go there. The thing that most people don't like about the opportunities, or I shouldn't say don't prefer, is within opportunities. If you go in within opportunities, you have to then go in and select the contact. Sometimes it's better just to be in the contact so you know you're talking about the right person. So it's just preference, whatever you prefer. So I'm just going to go into the contact. So then here you'll see at the top right, you'll see the number of opportunities. If you have multiple opportunities, it'll give you the list out of all of those opportunities. So I'm actually going to click on that. And so if we wanted to create a new opportunity, which we are going to do, we're going to be on the buyer side first. So then we're going to click on create opportunity. So then from create opportunity, for the sake of training, we're going to focus on the red asterisk fields only, but in a live situation, you would obviously want to make sure you have as much information. So we have our defaulted KW West, Maui. We want to do buyer side, not listing side. So I'm just going to click on that to change it. The client is Aaron, IU. So that's the one that I'm in his contact card. If there were a co-buyer situation, then I would type in the co-buyer. And then opportunity name. The best practice for buyers, if you know the house or the location or land, then you would put that address in there. Sometimes when you're first creating the opportunity, you may not know that, and that's totally fine. You can always go back in and edit it. The reason why it's the best practice is hopefully you're going to be doing multiple deals with your contacts. And so then that way you can be able to look at, oh, this was their 123 Olive Street, or this is their 67 Ocean View kind of thing. So then if you had a custom tag, you put that there. Estimated close date, you would put that there, and then time frame. The other field would be the commission rate. The one thing that I want to say about commission rate, and really Bruce and anyone, it's more so for land deals, especially on the Big Island. If you are in a situation where you're not doing a commission rate, but you're doing a flat rate, if you will, you can still put that 3 in, and you can go back and I'll show you, remind me to show you later how to do that workaround. Then you would enter the opportunity phase and or stage, whether that's cultivate and nurture. I'm just going to say cultivate and hot, and then you hit create. So then it's going to pop you back right here, and then it's going to say the date that you registered, or excuse me, that you created the opportunity. You see that I changed it to hot, so this is where we are. I didn't set a budget, but you can. So then I'm going to click on this. And then it's going to take me into my opportunity field dashboard. All right. So then in a live situation, you would go into documents, and then from documents, you would do start a transaction. That then links you to DocuSign. You create a room in DocuSign, and then you upload your documents, you get them signed, all of that great stuff. Then the next step would be to go into the offer and commission tab. And so what I mentioned to Bill earlier, and I think he dropped out, maybe his internet, like me, I had some issues. But what you would want to do is, let me take a step back. So originally offer and commission were separate tabs. Now it's combined. The good thing about it being combined now is that you no longer, what happened in the past when they were separate is, let's say you accepted an offer and then the offer ended up being rejected. Because the tabs were not combined, then you had to create a green sheet to submit another offer. Now, because the tabs are connected, you can reject an offer and do another offer all within the same platform. So no need to do green sheets again. Okay, so the first step we want to do on the buyer side is we want to do an add a new offer. So we're going to click here. Again, it'll say, what do you want to call this? Definitely the best practice is to number your offer, especially when you get into a multiple, situation where this is the second offer, this is the third offer, whatever it is. And then if you know the address, you can put that in there. I'm going to just do this Ironwood one only because hopefully it's still listed. And the reason why is it's a best practice, but then I'm going to show you why in a minute. So then now you are into the offer details. Within the buyer side only, you can link the listing by selecting where it says select from KWLS. So you select that. And then you can go into 2 ways. And one thing I do want to caution you on is some agents were like, oh, I don't see my listings, or vice versa. The key thing that you want to remember on the right underneath search, and my picture or the Zoom picture may be in the way, you want to make sure you select all listings or my listings or whatever. And so making sure that you select the appropriate category, and then you can select by street or MLS. So I'm just going to keep it at street. I'm selecting this Ironwood one only because I've been playing with it and I know it's available just for the sake of training today. So I'm going to select that. Then it's going to automatically upload all of the details on that property. So now I'm going to go to parties. So then now I have my buyer because I'm on the buyer side, whoever the seller is. I know that I'm just going to do a random, I'm going to say Todd Hudson because he's just in my drop down. So then it's going to populate if you've had that in there before. If not, you want to make sure you enter all of the necessary fields, determining whether Aaron is pre-approved or checking pre-approved, pre-qualified. And then whoever is representing the buyer and or lister, and I'm just going to say myself, hopefully you will be getting into more of those situations where you are representing both sides. So then you fill out that information, then you click on terms. Terms would be, the key thing to note about the terms is you want to include or add the cash finance to equal the sale. So then I'm just going to say 300, he's going to have cash, and then 115, he's going to finance. So then that'll get me the total sales price. So if there were any earnest money, I'm just going to say 4, but it'll calculate. You can either go vice versa. If you know the amount, you can put in the amount, or if you know the percentage, you can put in the percentage. Option fee, that typically applies to the Texas market, separate from earnest money, but that's when you get into a situation where the buyer is saying to the listor, if I back out of this deal for whatever reason, I'm going to pay you X amount of dollars. Typically that's on the Texas side of things, but if that were an issue or concerned or something you were doing, you obviously would want to chat with your broker. And then whatever seller cost termination option applies to the option fee. So let's just say the seller is going to pay $1,000 or agrees to pay $1,000. So then you would accept that or agent analysis. So then from here, whatever the pros and cons of this specific offer is, you would put that there. I'm just going to say cash heavy. And then there's no cons. Summary, then I want to say buyer wants to close within 2 weeks. So then you just hit save. And then you have this new offer created. Then you either accept it, reject it. You can also edit it. So in a situation where you submit the offer, it comes back where it's not rejected, but they want to counter, you can go into the 3 ellipsis dots and hit edit offer, go back in, edit it, resubmit it kind of thing. So in a perfect situation, let's just say we're going to accept this offer. So then once you accept it, it automatically opens up the manage commission. So then you click on manage commission. So for manage commission, then you would go into the edit general information in case you need to go back in. So notice here in red, it says contract date. So I need to add that date. So I'm just going to say March 1st, just to throw that out there. So now that went away. So then from here, let's say in a situation where you were working with another agent, you were partnering, you're not necessarily on a team, but you were tag teaming to get a buyer. So if you needed to add a new agent, you would simply select add a new agent. You would type them in. Bruce, I'm gonna see if I can get you pre-populated on here. Yay. All right. So then let's say, you and I worked on a deal where I got 60, you got 40. So I'm gonna do 0.4. And then if it doesn't calculate your gross commission, then you're gonna recalculate it here. Then if there were any E&O fields, and let me explain this. So E&O is for legal fees. It's still grayed out. So we're telling people to put it in the notes. I'll get to that in a minute. If you wanted to do KW Cares, KW Kids Can, Bold Scholarship, I'm just gonna say 200 you wanna do, or not 200, I'll just say 50. And let's do Cares, you wanna do another 50. And so then net to the agent, if you wanted to add, I'm gonna add it on the other one, but I'm just gonna hit save for now. See how it pops up 2 error messages on the right? It says, excess agent commission, remaining unit balance. The key to remember is in general information, each transaction is 1 unit. And so now I've got 0.4 and I've got 0.6 to allocate. So I need to go into my payment since I'm the one that's entering this and I'm technically the primary. I need to go into, because right now it's got 1 And then it's got the total commission there, which I need to go in and adjust. So I'm going to hit edit agent payment. Remember our contract, Bruce, or our partnership, I'm doing 0.6. So then I need to recalculate this. So it now goes to the 0.6. So, we'll go to notes in a minute. Let's say I also want to do K Cares, but I'm also going to do Kids Can, and then I'm going to do Gold as well. So I'm just showing you how easy that would be. So then let's say for me, I have a TC or TM, whatever you call them, transaction coordinator or transaction manager. So then I want to go into the drop down option. And then what I want to do is go into deduction. So my deduction, my TC is going to cost me 500. I need to know either her SN. If I have a TC, then they would be entering this because they would do this for me. But they would need to enter either their social or their NIN number, and then whatever that ID is, and then description. The best practice is to put their name in there. So TM or TC, whatever you call that person, their name, and then pay to whatever that is. So these are just drop downs for me because I've been doing this for a while. So then 285, I'm just going to put our Kahamanu address in Kahului. Phone number, I'm just going to put our Kahului phone number, and then whatever your TM or TC's email. So then I'm going to hit add, save changes, and see how that took away all of my error messages. So now I'm good to go. If everything is good, the only other thing I need to do is, let me move this up. So then on the summary side, you see all of the allocations, the total commission, paid to the office, whatever your royalties are. If you get into a situation where this is not correct, the pay to office, just put it in the notes. So to add a note, you simply just add a note. Couple of things, if there was an E&O that we needed to apply, a legal fee, then I'm just going to say $100. If I had a PC coach, I'd say PC fee. If I didn't know what it is, this is a flag for Shelby to know. And then GET. So GET, the best practice is GET, and then whatever island you're on. I'm going to say Maui for me. And then for you, and then since Bruce is my partner, I'm going to say Bruce, GET, Big Island. And then just save it. Key thing in a live situation, this goes nowhere until you hit submit. You've got to hit submit for it to go to Shelby. So I'm going to stop talking and see if you have any questions, and then we'll go to the seller side.
So, the add another agent, that's just a KW thing, add another agent?
Yeah, so if you wanted to do an outside
or referral, yeah.
Yeah, so if you wanted to do you could do it two ways. You could either add another agent here, or if you wanted to add another outside agent, let's say it's an outside, i.e. referral or whatever it may be. Okay. So then you can go into edit agent payment.
Okay.
Towards the bottom where it says extra payment options.
Okay.
Then you would go to add item. And then from there, if it was an inside referral, outside referral, you could inside referral, or let's just do outside.
Okay.
Outside, and then whatever that referral is, the amount, you would need to know their tax ID, brokerage name, agent name, put in all that information, and you would simply add. So that's how you do that.
Okay.
Same thing with, for the broker, you could do a co-broker. So let's say instead of a partnership with an internal agent, like you and I in our fictitious role, we were doing that. Let's say you just wanted to add a co-broker. So then the easiest way for co-brokers is to just go to this tab, because you don't have to go through those multiple steps. But yeah, so that's how you would do that. Great question, Bruce.
Thank you.
Anything else question-wise?
No, I'm working on it with a referral agent that I just went into escrow. So yeah, this works out. So thank you.
Perfect. Okay, so then I'm going to back out of here, and I'm going to go. Let me see. I'm going to go this different way. So then here, I went to, just so you know, I went to the opportunity applets. So then here you have all of your opportunities. Teal, remember, is your friend. So it's outlining me. So this is showing me all of my listings, buyers, and then opportunities here. So what you can, two things to note about this is that you can go into opportunities from here, and you can go in and edit anything that you want to. And it'll give you like a list of all of those. So I'm gonna go back out again. If I wanted to change it.
It's Jenna. I'm giving you a call with
And then I'm gonna go, once it
having
pops
a great
up.
day, Bruce. I wanted to reach out to you regarding Premier Agent on Thailand. I'm looking for some agents to.
So now go into, I'm just gonna go a different one. I'm gonna go into Adam this time. So Adam, now we're gonna do on the listing side. So now I'm gonna create a new opportunity again. And again, I'm gonna be on the listing side. It's automatically gonna default to listing. So then same thing in a live situation, you would enter all of this. This time I know Adam's better half is Jessica. So I'm just gonna add her as the co-seller. And again, we're listing. So then in this listing situation, if you knew the address, the best practice is to put it in the name. If you had custom tags, close date, I'm just gonna do March 1st as an arbitrary, again, 3. Oh, remind me to go back to the flat rate. Remind me to go back to that so I can show you that. I totally forgot that. So then now we're just gonna hit create. Again, we are on the seller side now. I'm gonna change the stage to nurture. You could even change the phase if you wanted to. I'm just gonna do appointment and then schedule. So I'm gonna just totally change that phase. So I'm gonna hit create. So then now it's gonna take me to the 17th, which is today. So this is the recent opportunity. So then I'm gonna go to that opportunity. So then within this opportunity, I'm just gonna immediately go to offer. So we can do this, click on offer. I'm gonna say this is the initial offer, create. And then from here, we're gonna go to see where it says, now this is the difference. Remember when we were on the buyer side and we were trying to update or add the property or the land or whatever you're trying to add? On the buyer side, that connect or select a KWLS is down here. It's up here now. On the listing side. So then we just want to click on this listing. Then again, remember that make sure you select this. If you don't have any listings, you may get freaked out because you don't see anything, but just make sure that you select all listings. So then from here, you can either search the street address and or the MLS, whichever you prefer. So I'm just gonna, again, do I want to click another one? I'm going to do another one. I'm going to do, this is 265. So this one is 265. I got to remember that. So then now I've selected that address and you know that you've selected it because now it's up at the top. So now I want to go to my initial offer. Who is going to be my buyer? I'm just going to say Jessica. So then you put in all the buyer information. Again, we're on the seller side now. So now we got to put in the buyer information, whether this buyer is pre-approved, and then whoever is representing, if that's you, then you put yourself. So then you do fill in all of that. Then you go to terms, same terms. I think it was 265. So I'm just going to say that this one is going to be cash heavy again. And then they're going to finance 65. Oops. There we go. Then earnest money, if that applies, I'm just going to do 4. We're going to say 2,000. And then summary, and then I'm going to say cash heavy. Oops. And then I'm going to say this one close in a month. Close in a month. So then I'm going to save this. Now what I'm going to do is add another offer to this same property. So create it again. This time, see how it's still for the same listing. So then I'm going to go to parties. So now instead of Jessica, now I'm going to say this is Todd that's wanting to purchase this. And then you are still representing. And you put all your information in, you go to terms. And then it was $265, I believe. So what I'm going to do now is just say this is all cash. Oops. And then put in the 2,000 if that applies. If not, so then I'm going to say all cash wants to close in, I want to say 2 weeks. So now you'll see that we have 2 offers on this property. So then now how you can submit a comparison, you can just simply select all. And then once you select all, it's going to select both of those. And then where it says compare offer, you just simply click on compare offer. And then it's going to give you a comparison breakdown of the 2 properties. So you can email your client directly, or you can download it. So it'll tell you the sales price, you know, what percentage of it is cash, what percentage is finance, earnest money, option fee if it applies. And then where we were putting in the pros and cons, this one says all cash, cash heavy. I didn't list any cons, but you could. And then you would simply email that to your clients. So that is, I'm going to go back to offer now. We're just going to say for the sake of training that I'm going to accept the all cash offer by Todd. So I'm just going to accept that. Then I'm going to go into the commission tab. The one thing that I didn't do that I want to do now is, remember, I wanted to talk about going back to the flat rate instead of commission. So then we would go into edit that. So originally we went into a 3%. So where you would change that is within your agent gross commission, you would change that number or that amount here. So you would just manually override that. So whatever it is, you would put that in there. So if it was a flat rate of 5,000 or whatever it was, then you put that flat rate in there and then you would save it. And then I need to go in and add some more information, but that's how you would do the workaround to get around that. Questions? Good. Bill, do you have any questions or comments?
No questions. It's been very helpful, though. Thank you so much, Latasha.
You're welcome. So again, it's actually much easier now to create or to get paid since it's now within Command. And the other bonus that I do want to say is once you begin to put all of your deals or all of your payouts and also your goals into Command, you no longer have to email Shelby and ask her, like, where am I at on my production? So you could just go to reports, run the reports that you want to run. You know, how much more money do I need to get to where I cap, or whatever questions you want to have. So then you can monitor that yourself. So that's the beauty about it. So again, green sheets are retiring February 28th. We will no longer accept them March 1st, but this is an easy process. If you have any questions about the functionality in Command, reach out to Robert or myself. If you have questions about physically getting paid, email them to Shelby. The thing that I want to say is, you know, we're trying to take the load off of Shelby. So if you've got questions about the functionality of Command, come to us first. So Shelby can just focus on getting you paid. So functionality questions, please reach out to us first to keep her sane. And so reach out to us, but it's super easy, straightforward. This is one of the most straightforward things in Command. So it's pretty user-friendly. So just reach out to us if you have any questions. I hope you guys, if you're in a family reunion, I hope you're getting some really golden nuggets out of that. And we will also have one other session. It's going to be a 30-minute power session Tuesday from 10:30 to 11. And that's strictly going to be FAQs. If you run across a question that you have, we will have a dedicated 30-minute power session to answer all questions. So there won't be any presentations from Robert or I. It'll be strictly ask us anything about command as it relates to how to get paid. Oh, I had one. Let's see, who was it? Yes, I can send those. Yes, Bruce, I will email you those links right after I end this presentation, both the buyer and the seller one. Okay, thank you all. Have a great day.
Hello, have a great day.
Have a great day. Thank you.
You're welcome.